Why do you require filtering for sorting? They're two different tools, and I've seen that in the working with n number of companies. Somehow the feel is I have to apply filter first and then I sort. It's not necessary, right? Sorting is different, filtering is different. See, one thing you have to understand when you are using any of the tools of Excel, any tools of Excel, whether it's a pivot or you're using data validation and so forth, not data validation, like any tools of Excel, you can be worry free of selecting the entire table. Why? Because Excel is intelligent enough that if I select one cell of the table, it knows where the table is. It keeps on extending itself left, right, top and bottom till it hits all the empty cells all around. Okay, so first of all, I do not need to select my entire table when I'm sorting only one column at a time. If you select only that particular column that you want to sort, you will get a warning. Let's see what the warning is. If I say data and I'm going to say Z2A, I get a warning. It's a sort warning. What is the warning? The warning says that it found some data around your selection. So do you want to expand your selection? If you say yes, it takes into account the total table, or do you want to continue with the same selection? So what is the difference between the two? If I say I want to continue with my selection, what will happen? Only the column, only this column gets sorted. And when you're talking in terms of table, we talk about records. This is one record. All the elements are joined to each other, right? So it's not that if I move the sales of 28,000 somewhere else, it is going to be an improper record, right? It's going to be incorrect record. So when we do talk about sorting, we talk about sorting of the entire row. We are not going to talk about the sorting of one column only. If you're talking about from the entire table, the sorting of only one column, it means all the columns are disconnected to each other. There is no relationship between them. Right? You can imagine you work in, who works? Oh, she went there. You work in a bank, right? A bank में suppose हम सबके नाम है, हम सबके आगे balances हैं, right? Let's say she has 5 lakhs, I have 5,000 rupees. किसी ने नाम का कॉलम सॉर्ट कर दिया, अगर बैलेंस मेरे नाम के साथ नहीं गया, I will end up with 5 lakhs, she might end up with 5,000. So when you talk about sorting, sorting is the sorting of a row and not one cell. So this is also incorrect, that if you say this is the area I want to sort, then you're misguiding it. So how do we sort? If you want to only sort one column of the entire table, select any one cell of that particular column. So if I am sorting sales, I'll select one cell of sales, any one, it doesn't have to be the first one. I like to work in sorting and filtering from the data tab, so it's up to you, or you can also work in home, and over here the sorting filtering is there. That's entirely up to you. So data tab, and then I want to do Z2A, so I click to Z2A, automatically largest to smallest has happened. And sorting by color doesn't happen on. I'll teach you. Right? A capital I VY underscore 4321. So this is column, sorting one column at a time. But I can do sorting of multiple columns at a time. So if I'm doing multiple column setting, what should be my selection? Again, it is not going to be the entire table. Any one cell of any column can be my selection. You cannot be outside your table, because then it won't be able to find your data, but select any one cell of your table. We are going to go to data, and we are going to click on this sort button now. Okay, when you click on this sort button over here, you can do different, you can add different levels and keep on sorting. So let's say I have a data in which I've got dates, I've got car type, I've got customer city, I've got sales and cost of goods sold. So I want to first sort by car type, then I'll sort by customer city, and then I will be sorting by sales. So I put the car type, add level, sort by car type. Now you can sort on basis of 4 things. One is values, which is traditionally what sorting did. One is cell color. For example, over here the cell color is yellow, over here the cell color is red. Or font color. In this case the font color is black and this is white. Or in case of cell icon, in cell icon view I will introduce you in conditional formatting. Okay, so we can do sorting by color, or we can do sorting on the values. If you pick sorting on color, let's say if I have picked date and I say I want to sort on cell color, यहाँ पे आपको option मिलेगा which color you want to put on top. So if I say I want to put yellow on top, I can select it like this. Okay, and once I click, all the yellows went on top. Right? Okay, going back to our particular problem. So I want to first sort by the car type. I want to sort on values, and it depends on us. I want to do A to Z or Z to A. Let's pick A to Z. Right? The third option is also there, which is called custom list. Any idea what is custom list? Okay, take an example of months. What are the name of the months? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Right? This is the order that we always follow the months in. What if I had a column of months and I do sorting of A to Z? Will it happen in the same order? January to December? No. April will be on the top, then the August would be there, and so forth. So if there is a particular order of items that you want to have by which it should be sorted, then we can work in custom lists. Okay, so if you go in custom list, there are two lists that by default they have added, and that is your days, because that's in a fixed order and that does not follow A to Z, and then there are months, which is again in a fixed order and it does not follow A to Z, right? So you can pick these, or if you want to create your own list. For example, I have these cars, and let's say I want the Honda to be on the top, enter. I want then the Toyotas. Then I want Mazda to show up, and then I want Subaru, and what else is there? And then there is Audi. This is the order I want. So I've created an order which is different from my A to Z, and then I can click add. So I've created this order, clicked OK. So now when the car types get sorted, the Hondas will be on the top, then the Toyota, then the Mazda, and the Subaru. Just like you have A to Z, you will also have Z to A. So Audi, Subaru, Mazda, Toyota, Honda. So that is the use of your custom list. So custom list would be used when you want to customize the order in which it has to be sorted. Right? Like we run three programs at a time. We have data analytics, actuarial science, and corporate training. Let's say I get revenues from all the three. All the three businesses. Okay. But I want to see if the information related to data analytics first, then I want actuarial science, and then the corporate training. So I would do a customized sorting, because otherwise actuarial science, corporate training, and data analytics would come up. So that is where you will be using customized sorting, right? Okay. I'm just going to make it back to A to Z. We want to add another level. Now I want to sort by customer city. Again, it's a text. That's why you're getting an option of A to Z. We want to sort another one, add a level. I want to sort by sales. Now sales is numbers. That is why you're getting an option of smallest to largest or largest to smallest. If you would have picked dates, let's just pick dates for the heck of it. I'm getting oldest to newest and newest to oldest. Right? Is this clear? So I can keep on adding levels and it will do a sorting. Right? Now please also notice on the right hand side top, it is written my data has headers and I have check marked in front of it. What is the advantage of this? The advantage of this is that when you create an Excel table, it is kind of understood that the first row of your table would have the field name or the headers. That will tell that in this column this kind of values is there, in the second column this kind of value is there. If I don't have it, then what it behaves like, it will become column B, column C, column D. What is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is all the time I'll have to go back and look at my table and see, okay, where is my sales data sitting? Versus if I have a header, I can be prompted of sales, customer city, and car type. So always make sure the first row of your table has headers, and always make sure that you're check marking over here that my data has headers. Right? Okay, so we are going to sort. We are going to click OK, and sorting is done. Right? Sorting done. So we said car type, then customer city and sales. Is column B sorted? A to Z. I didn't pick Honda wala thing. Is it sorted? No. Is it a yes or a no? Let's say yes. It's sorted. A to Z. Is it sorted? Yes, no. It is sorted, right? Okay. What about column C? Is this sorted? Oh, it's too small. Wait. Is it sorted? No. Column D, is it sorted? Smallest to largest? No. So what happened? We said sort everything. So imagine if I tie legs of all three of you and two of you, right? And when you are standing in a row, in a column, three and two people, and I say, okay, on basis of you, please arrange yourself in height wise. So when he moves, these two have to move or no? They have to. So they also move back or front. Then I say, okay, according to Khushbu, now arrange height wise. Now again, when Khushbu moves, the partners have to move together, right? So when you talk about sorting, you cannot have three columns that look sorted to you. That is never possible. Because if I'm sorting him, these also get sorted. Now once this gets sorted, if I say now sort this, then this person has to move again. Right? So in sorting, when you're doing multiple column sorting, only one column would be there which would look sorted, and that is the first column that you pick. The first column that we picked was start time. That is the only column that will look sorted to you. Now the question should be, then what do you mean by sorting multiple columns? Right? Now in multiple column sorting, this is what happens. Let's say we are going to pick Toyotas. This is the Toyota car. Within the Toyota group, if you look at the city, is it sorted? City 7, city 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 20, 23, it is sorted. Right? So how does the sorting happens in multiple columns? Group sorting of the subgroup. The third column or the level that you add, it would be the subgroup of this now. So if I look at city 12, in city 12, smallest, largest. City 14, smaller, larger. City 23, smaller, larger. So it keeps on making groups, subgroups, and there where the levels keep on getting sorted. Okay, because if you look at Toyota and you look at the sales column, again it doesn't look sorted to us because it is going to work in the subgroup of customers. Any question? Question? There is a question.
No, but how all the columns will be sorted actually? Means suppose the Toyota is sorted over there, the next column is sorted. So it can happen that suppose there are other cars also. So when that is sorted, automatically the other should be sorted.
As in other customer city and all should be sorted?
Yes, that should be.
That should be sorted according to like as in I didn't catch your question.
Actually, the city has to be sorted. The other value has to be sorted.
So how it is getting sorted, but how it is getting sorted is what you need to understand. Within Toyota, the cities are getting sorted, right? And within a particular city group, the sales are getting sorted. But what you are asking me is probably Toyota independently they should also be sorted.
Yes.
But think about it. If I sort the cities and I'm saying everything is connected to each other, would it stay there? Like if I say, okay, this is the order of the cars, right? The corresponding city has to be in front of the car only.
Yes.
So it cannot sort independently, right?
Independently,
it cannot. If you want that all three columns should be sorted independently, it means there is no connection between the columns. But if there is a connection, it cannot be. If there is a connection, which is typically the case in our tables, then only the rows get sorted and only the first column that you give for sorting will be the master column which will look sorted to you. And others get sorted within the groups. Make sense? Or we can have a live demonstration with the ropes. Tie you up and ask to sort. No? Okay. Now, okay, I've sorted my data. Now, typically things that what we do in sorting is, first of all, we can grab the data we want. Let's say I wanted Toyota, so I can go ahead and pick up the Toyota data, copy paste it, put it somewhere else, right? That is one thing. Other thing that I do is I do some calculation based on the group data. What I've done in sorting, I've grouped my data. Right? Once I've grouped it, I would like to run some calculations. For example, I would like to find what is the total sales of each car type. So I would want Toyota, what is the total sales? Subaru, total sales. Mazda, total sales. Honda, total sales, and so on and so forth. Right? So how would you do it? You would have learned how to do it.
by doing
Some. Some if.
some.
Okay, how would you run with some if also? Somebody guide me. You can with some if, but I want to understand if you know the process of doing it. Where will you apply a sum if? Can I apply a sum if over here and copy paste? So what I'm looking for a summary of car type and the total sales. So the Honda sales, Mazda sales, Toyota sales. ऐसे आना चाहिए. So what I need first of all, if you look at my car type, one car is getting repeated multiple times depending on how many transactions are there, right? So I need what? I need a unique list of my cars. Number one, how do I get a unique list of my cars? I'm going to use a tool called remove duplicates. Okay, how you do it is I'm going to copy the entire column and I'm going to paste it somewhere else. I'm not going to remove duplicates over here because this is my raw data. I don't touch my raw data. Original data I'm not going to touch. So I put it over here. Then if you go to the data tab, you see remove duplicates. Okay, so when you click on remove duplicates, it's showing this one column only of car type, and if I click OK, 19 duplicates were found and 7 unique values came up. So now I've got my 7 unique car types. Now what? Now I'm going to apply my sum if over here. What would be the range? Let's revise. What is the criteria? Total sales of Audi cars. So what will be the range? Car type, right? Comma. What will be the criteria? The Audi, and it's written over here. So I'll select the cells, comma. What will be the sum range? Sales. Right? I've got this for Audi. I would like to copy paste and get answers for all. So what do I need to do? Where? This range. See, you have to understand ranges, arrays. जब भी आप किसी भी formula function में देखते हैं and you're trying to copy paste that function or formula, it will always be fixed. Without thinking, you can fix it. Because the range in which I'm looking for Audi would be the same range I would be looking for Ford and GM and Honda. So this range has to be fixed. This is a range, it has to be fixed. Ranges absolutely have to be fixed. Okay, once that is done, now G4 is only thing left. Do I want to fix it? I don't need to fix G because I'm moving in the same column. So I'll just copy paste and I'll get my answer. Right? But this is a very long process. When we learn pivot tables, we'll learn this thing can be done very quickly. Okay. I just wanted to show आप sum if use करते हैं, how will you proceed, and through this I'm introducing you to remove duplicates also. Right? But when we have already grouped our data, we are going to do it in a different fashion. Once we have grouped our data, I can also use a tool in data which is called subtotal. This subtotal tool will only be used with your sorted data. If you do not have a sorted data, it is going to give you a wrong answer. I'm going to die of heat. I need to lower it down, but I'll change the direction now. Stop the auto swing part. No, it's not working. It's like, you can do it. So let's see how we are going to use the subtotal. So once you click on subtotal, what are the things that you get in this dialog box? First of all, at each change in. Okay. In this you have to select the column which is sorted column, the master column which is sorted. Okay. What happens? Whichever column you pick in this case, for example, I go to the date. So whichever column you give, it starts comparing the consecutive two cells of this column. So it will compare, is this cell equal to this cell? The answer is no. As soon as they don't match up, it inserts a new row in between. Okay, runs the function that you tell it to, in this case in sum, on the column that you tell it to. So if I run this thing, what it will happen? Whenever there is a difference in date, if the dates are same, let's say 91919191, it will not do anything. And whenever there is a difference in the two cells, over there it inserts a new row, does the function that you tell it on a particular column. That is why I told you subtotals will work only when your data is sorted. Because if the sorting is not there, let's say 2 Honda ऊपर है तो subtotal कर देगा. 2 Honda नीचे एक subtotal और कर, एक Honda नीचे एक और subtotal कर देगा. Now to get the total of Honda, again I have to apply something to get the 3 out and total them. But if I would have grouped the data together, so wherever it finds Honda, it doesn't do anything. Honda to Audi, that is the time it will introduce a subtotal. Okay, so which column should I pick at each change in? Cars, because that is our master column which is sorted, right? So I'm going to pick car type. What function? Sum function. On which column do you want the sum function to be applied? Sales. So I'll click on sales, remove cost of goods sold, click OK, and I get my answer. So you see I've got Audi, there's only one car, so Audi total came up. Ford, 2 cars, so the total of Ford came up, and so and so forth. Right? So subtotal is a tool that you can use only with sorted data. If your data is not sorted, there is no use of doing subtotal. And at each change is a column, and in which you want to go, and basis of the grouping done in that particular column, I want to apply some functions. Right? Before you guys try it, let me finish this thing. So once you apply subtotal and the grouping has been done, you will see on the left hand side these things get created. 1, 2, 3 karke. Okay, these are called outlines. What is the use? If I click on number 3, which is this level right now, this is level 3, in which I am able to see the main data, I am able to see the total, and at the bottom I am able to see the grand total. So 3 levels I am able to see right now. Right? The grand total at the bottom which comes up. 3 levels are there. If I click on 2, I will be able to see 2 levels. So the main data gets hidden. You will see 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 11. That's the row number. So the rows are getting hidden now. So the total is coming and the grand total is there. And if I click on 1, I can only see the grand total. Fine. Now what I wish to do is, I would like to be on level 2 where I am able to see the total and the grand total and copy and paste it somewhere else. So how will I do that? Take a shot. Recording is very good. The question is, I would like to copy paste this area and paste it somewhere else. How do you copy paste your data? Can I do something like this? I can select the data, I can copy and then paste it. Can I? That's what you will try, right? Yes or no? That's what you will typically try. So let's see what happens. If I copy and I paste, what is the problem? Everything gets copy pasted. Why? What happened? The hidden rows also come into account. And I don't want the hidden rows, I only want to copy the visible rows. So how do I take care of that? So what we are going to do is, we are going to use another tool called go to special. Okay. So first thing you have to do to use go to special is first select the area in which you want to apply the tool. So I've selected that. Where is go to special? It's in the home tab in this find and select and go to special. Okay. The shortcut key is Control Z Alt S for the shortcut lovers. Home tab, find and select and go to special. Control G Alt S. Control G Alt S. Okay. So what is go to special used for? Go to special tool is used for identifying some particular cells with a property that you're looking for. For example, I'm looking in my selection, I'm trying to find all the blank cells. So I can pick blank. In my selection, I'm looking for all the cells which have formulas in it. Because when the formulas, you can't see the formulas, right? Otherwise, but I want to find all the cells which has formulas in it. So I can use this. I can find all the cells which has arrays in it, or I want to find the last cell of my selection, or I want to find where the column differences, row differences, where the formula is, the dependent formulas are there, and there is one called visible cells. So in my selection, I want to only select the visible cells. So I'm going to go to special, visible cells, click OK. Right now you won't see any difference till you hit Control C. Now when I selected Control C, what is the difference?
Only this one is selected.
How do you know that only visible cells are coming now? How do you know that? Initially, did you notice how Control C happened? It happened in a box. The entire data was in one box. Now it's not one box. It's picking rows, right? And if you look at these two rows, it's 36 and 37. They're consecutive rows. Hence, these are in one box. Okay. Now once I've copied, I can go ahead and paste. So it will only copy paste what I've selected. Right? Any questions? Okay, what I've done right now, I've only put one subtotal, that is on the car type, right? But I have sorted car type and then I have sorted customer city also. So if I wanted for a particular car type, in each city also I want a total. For example, over here in Toyota, I have got two city 14. So one thing I want subtotal of the car types, and then within each car type, I want subtotal of the cities. City 14, what is the total? City 23, what is the total? Then I have to introduce two subtotals. So how do we do that? I'm going to again be in my table, go to data, go to subtotal, and at each change would be now, what are we trying to do a subtotal based on? City, right? So this would be customer city. Some function on what? Sales again. If you look at this, it says replace current subtotal. What it does, if I change any of the things on the top and this thing is check marked, it removes the previous subtotal and puts the new subtotal based on the criteria. But I want to keep the previous one and I want to put the new one also, so I'll remove this check mark. Okay, if you remove this check mark, you can put multiple subtotals on the same table. And I click OK. So it did level 3 car wise, and in each car wise it did city wise total. But you have to remember, when you're doing multiple subtotals, the order in which your columns are sorted also have to be like that. This thing only worked because I had sorted the car types and I had also sorted the cities within the car type. If that was not the case, the second subtotal would not make any sense. Right? You know. Understood or no? No is the answer. I'm going to remove everything. I'm just going to focus. I'm going to change the data of customer, this Toyota cars. Okay, now that I've changed the Toyota car, this data is not sorted anymore. Within Toyota, this data is not sorted because I just went and changed the data. Now let's try to run the two subtotals. Okay, so I run the subtotal by data in subtotal. So I pick first thing I want to do is car type because that's the main column I've sorted. I want to run a sum function on sales. Okay, I'll go back and subtotal, and now I want to do it on the basis of customer city and click OK. Now let's look at the Toyota cars and let's look at level 3. When I look at the Toyota cars, this is the Toyota car. I've got city 6, I've got city 23, I've got city 23 again and again. I've got 3 cities 23. Why? Because my second column on basis of which I did a subtotal is not sorted. Okay, whatever you apply a subtotal on has to be sorted. But if you're applying multiple subtotals, the order in which you apply the subtotal is the order in which you need to sort your columns also. First I applied on the car type, so the car type has to be sorted first. Then I applied on the customer city, so the customer city has to be sorted second, and so on and so forth. Is it clear? Right? Okay, let's do an exercise.